Hey everybody, good morning and welcome back to Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host and Disembodied Hands, Quindy, Disembodied Beard, John, and Clicky Kiki, who's probably gonna start barking like a fiend later because David's parents are dropping his bike off before they go back up to Seattle, and she'll hear the gate and she'll hear the thing and she'll probably go off. So at that point we'll have to pause the stream and I will have to quiet the dog down. But I was kind of hoping they'd be here after 11, but I'm probably not going to be that lucky. So we will have an interruption, but we will go on. Yes. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? Nope. Everybody's good. Hello, everybody. Good deal. Bing. Indeedy. Everybody cool. Christmas mouselings. Yes. Mouselings are easy, though. I mean, they're chibis, essentially. You paint them like you paint anything else. It's just the fur that sometimes people get a little bit confused about. So, I mean, really just go back and watch the stream we did last week, Christodoma, if you're confused about the fur, but everything else is pretty standard. Now I have to remember what I was doing. I added some purple to our yellow oxide, and I think I highlighted it up with either some blonde hair or some white. Oh, does my stupid watch have notifications on? God, I hate that. Let me see if I can get that to go away. And they don't make it so easy anymore, do they? Man, I hate this crap. Sometimes technology is cool, and sometimes technology is not cool. It was so much easier on my last Fitbit to turn off notifications. Yeah, exactly, Agent Marble, right? No, your toddler would figure out how to turn them on, because kids figure out how to do the thing that causes the most annoying thing. No, there is no OSL. We talked about this, Crows. This is a terrible subject for OSL. We talked about this the first time. And the reason, can you guess it? Can you guess why? You people are also crazy for OSL. Yes, toddler would change notifications to Spanish. So, Crows, the reason is that the light source is really low. The best light sourcing is high. Yeah, exactly. It's the position of the light and it's the amount of obstructions. So with this top here, almost none of the light is actually going to hit her face. It's all going to hit her lower jaw underneath, which is just going to make things look odd. 2, it's just really low in general. It's going to make this part of her really bright. So why would you do that, right? That's not the important part at all. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if the light is close to the body, or if you mean it's close to the body instead of up above the head. So the best positioning for OSL on a model is where it's going to light the face. That's where you want to do it. Or at the very least, the entire body. Something that's held up that will hit the face and then hit the rest of the body is ideal. Something that's low is terrible because it's not going to hit the face at all. It's just going to illuminate the body. You're not going to see the face. Third thing is, if I was going to do OSL, I would have had to start painting this model as if it was in shadow, as if it was dusk or dim light to get the effect. Otherwise, in daylight, you're not going to get any of this. Does that make sense, Crows? If you're holding a lantern in daylight, it's not going to do anything. So I would have had to set this up. if I was going to do that. So I'm just going to pretend that this is some sort of like, you know, like warding off device. Who knows? I don't know. I wasn't going to paint this model in dusk because I didn't have to be forced to do a bad lighting effect. So it's just not great. It's not ideal. And it's something that, unless you do a lot of OSL if you're a sculptor who paints and you know how to do OSL, then you would think about that kind of thing. But her arms are short, and he really can't get anything else. Like, the only way he could have gotten that lantern up higher is if she was holding a lantern pole, which would put the light here, but then it wouldn't be more, she's more holding it up as if she's warding away the thing, right? I would almost rather have seen a holy symbol and a priest, but that's just me. So it's just like pickiness and stuff. Yeah, you can do the underlighting. David has done it, but I wouldn't do it on this figure. I mean, because the thing is in our, it's not just underlighting, right? It's really going to be putting all the light right here where there's really no important detail at all. That's my problem with it. I don't have an inherent hatred of underlighting, although actually I do kind of think that you need a bigger model for it to work. Just my thought. I find it very difficult with this sort of model to make it work with a 28. David's got a beautiful bust that's underlit. It's probably one of the best things I've seen that's underlit. And I saw a great underlit one of the Borka bust that I did for Grandmaster Privateer Press. There's a great underlit bust of that. But I find that for underlighting on 28s, honestly, the features are usually too cartoony or too abbreviated, and it doesn't work very well. But yeah, OSL is like, for me, you've got to have the right model for it. It's just like any like thing like that. It's like you want to, if you're going to do that, you got to start out knowing that you're going to do it and design the whole thing that way. And although I enjoy doing OSL sometimes, I don't enjoy it all that much. Like, I don't want to do it all the time. Like, to me, then it gets really boring really fast. And most models aren't really built for it. So, yeah. So, for here, what I may do is make the lantern actually having the same light as the undead, as if it's, like, maybe guiding her to the undead or something like that. I don't know. Because the lantern, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense there. Like I said, though, she has short arms. It's not like she can hold it up above her head like we can, right? That's the chibi problem. Chibi's trying to reach a top shelf or like, need step stool, you know, that kind of thing. It's the limitations of the figure. But if you remember that the best OSL is like done on a model that's got either a strong secondary light source or that's painted as if it's in shadow. Like, start out that way. All right. I need to mix up this fur color. The easiest OSL to start with is something that's held up against the body of the figure, like a sword. That's something where I could do a little bit of lighting down here as long as I didn't, like, overwhelm it. But again, I would have had to paint the rest of the model as if it was in shadow, at least slightly. So you could do that, like doing, there used to be an example, but essentially a Templar holding the sword against the front of their body and then the light around the sword. And that works as long as you've got enough light up here. But when you put enough light up here, then you have to ask yourself where that light's coming from, and then like the lantern isn't strong enough to overcome that light. I think too realistically probably with this. I'm sure there are plenty of examples of stuff that's, you know, all flashy and doesn't really concern itself with that, but I really hate it. I really hate that whole, you know, strong light source and strong glowy thing. You know, your glowy thing at that point is brighter than the sun, and it's like, well, if it's magical, okay. But just a normal lantern like this, not. Well, how do you know? Magical swords can kill undead, Twisted Oma. That's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming we've got a magical sword here. Either that or she's screwed. And she's just, you know, sacrificing herself to distract the undead while everybody else escapes. But yeah, I'm picky about my OSL. I don't do it just for the sake of OSL. A lot of people do it because it makes the model, like get a lot of attention. And I just don't like it that much unless I've got it in my concept. I would rather do a strong overhead light source with interesting shadows at this point than do a lot of OSL. Which is just my personal likes and dislikes. Because remember that when you use OSL, you're sacrificing something. Like, sure, you get a cool glowing object, but you're also like, you lose stuff, right? Because then you're creating darker shadows and you're going to lose details in those shadows. It's like that Librarian Sophie. If I choose to use that lantern, I'm going to have this huge cast shadow under that book on the figure. There's going to be a big dark shadow there. I'm going to lose all that. I won't be able to really paint it. Not to the level that I would like to, right? So, well, the good magic systems, I just watched a video 2 nights ago, actually. Got sucked into a panel on non-genetic magic systems that had Brandon Sanderson on it. It was from his channel on YouTube. He puts up a lot of writing resources. But it was a very interesting panel about magic systems. So I'm going to mix some of this purple as I drop everything. Because that's just my day, guys. It's just my day. I've just decided this. Neither David nor I slept very well last night. We woke up early, which was always not a great sign for me. But here we go. There we go. So I actually started with 2 drops of oxide yellow, 1 drop of monarch purple, and that's going to give us this pretty brown. Obviously, there's a magical world, otherwise you wouldn't have an undead. Unless you're, I guess, no, Stephen King, even in Stephen King's undead world, there's magic. Even if it's just holy priest magic. Maybe she can befriend the undead. Maybe the undead's just sad. Maybe it just needs a hug, Quindy. Alright, I'm going to keep this color on my brush as I mix up my regular oxide yellow too, because I don't want it very bright, if you'll remember. It can get very, very yellow, and we were kind of on the verge of that when we base coated this model, so I actually went back and brought in more brown, you see, because we had that just like oxide was too strong. Too strong, so I mixed in a little bit of the purple, and I mixed in a bit of white, I believe, or blonde hair. I think I'll use blonde hair. But yeah, with fantasy, the best fantasy doesn't have the attitude that anything can happen. The best fantasy has magic systems with rules, the internal consistency. Otherwise, it's just it's just kind of like, if anything can happen. I know. No Limits is harder to write. Someone to play board games with. That's what Quinty, I was like, awesome, a brain I can eat. Whereas Quinty's like, oh, I just want to play some Settlers. How do you feel? This is the difference between you and I, Quinty, when facing undead. What do you guys think? So I'm just adding a little bit more purple into this to dull it down. That's a little better. I feel like that's better. That's more of a natural. I don't mind having a little bit intense of a gold for her fur, but I'm going to make this a little darker. Mixing in purple. And there will come a point when this becomes more purple than brown. But I'd have to load quite a bit of purple into it with as much pigment as is in this yellow oxide. So. Deary me. Okay, I feel like that's good. Now we can make a highlight color. I'm going to use a little bit of blonde hair and then some white. Oh, jeez. Oh, Quindy. But yeah, I'm almost sad like that there are so many lanterns in the figures that we've been grabbing because I'm just like, most of the time I just do not want to do OSL with them. Because it's work, right? Just like that. Like if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right and do it like in a way that teaches you guys something like we did with Mouse, with the Mouse Warrior. And not every model is great for that. It also is a lot of effort. And like I said, like I had to paint the entire other side of that Mousling in shadow, so I'm going to put just a little bit more white in here. So it was missed opportunities, right? I couldn't fully paint everything. I had to pay attention to my rules that I had established for the OSL. I don't know, it's just like everything else where like in order to, oh, I do not want the Reaper brush today though. What do I want? Wait, must find brush, must find brush. There it is. Okay. And now glasses, otherwise I can't see a thing. Oh, I ordered my new face cam, guys. We'll have a non-blurry and face cam coming up. It should get here late today. Along with Kiki's bully sticks, but I don't know if she can survive that long, so I might have to do a bully stick run. She was very fussy this morning. She took her collagen chew, but she was not thrilled with it. She was obviously... We've been out of bully sticks for 2 days. And she's starting to crack. She's starting to crack. Kiki and her bully sticks. Her bully sticks habit is going to cost us more than anything else by the end of that dog's life, I swear. Like, I don't even want to even do the math on how many thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, we will have poured into bully sticks by the time Kiki is older. His cute little teeth. Hey, Miniatures Den, how's it going? I was just talking about how OSL is a pain in the butt. I'll stop complaining and resume work on this Mousling, who are painting to oppose our apparently cute little Wraithy Pooh Mousling that just wants to play some board games, according to Quindy. We gotta remember that Quindy is somewhat biased in this, being at least somewhat disposed toward vampirism herself. She just wants undead minions to play board games with her. That's what she's saying. I don't know that I'm, buying that, but that's what she's saying. Oh my god, Curtigo. I do think it's a pain. It depends on the model. It all does. Sometimes I look at a model, I'm like, oh, I could do some kick butt OSL on that. And then sometimes, more often, people are like, OSL, and I'm like, no. Quindy, unlife goal. Ow. How's the puppy, Kodiak? How is she doing? Are you overwhelmed with cute? Yeah. Do you have the Shiloh bug now? Do you understand? Do you understand why we were all about these dogs? They're super smart and super cute. They really are something. Bit mouthy, yep. Yeah, no, they learn quick. They learn quick. It's good. Oh, come on, you know you love it. The reason it took you so long to facepalm that, Quindy, is that you actually loved that pun. That's my theory. So we're going to try to smooth out some of this hair and get some highlight back here. Yeah, Shiloh puppies are terrible cute. I mean, I still have cute Kiki puppy pictures. And Kodiak's is even more of a floof puddle. You definitely got a floof puddle, Kodiak. That's what when the ears are like that floppy like kind of way, and they're like on the floor, and all of the floof just spreads out. That's the floof puddle. Well, I'm really happy that you like her. I'm mixing up a highlight for here, just so we have an even more range of... There's our palette at this point. We mixed with yellow oxide and some purple and some white with a little bit of blonde hair triad mixed in. I'm gonna get this a little bit thinner. Boom. You're too much pain. Oh, you stole Crowley's thunder, Zechariah. Besides, it's the wrong day of the week. Gotta wait till everybody forgets to turn off the button after Reaper Live. Except this is the week without Reaper Live, isn't it? Alrighty, let's get this hair going on here. The off week, yep, you're saved. So we're going to bring a bit more light up here. I want this shadow because she's definitely got different pieces of hair here. She's got kind of a weird comb over going on here. Kind of weird, but that's okay. Mice can wear their hair however they like. No judgment, I swear. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, get ready. She'll be a good workout for you. You get back into the CrossFit. You can be like me. Going, I have to control this 65-pound lunging, pulling puppy at the end of the leash. Time for CrossFit. So just trying to get a bit of a highlight here around the crown of the head, which is where light would typically fall. I mean, you can even see it on my hair up here. Although I've got my hair parted on the side. But in general, wherever the skull rounds out, you're going to get some light. Right there at the top of the head. Yeah, lots of photos and videos for sure. Then you can look back and go, oh, when were you that tiny when she gets to be a monster? Gonna do a little bit more highlighting here on the side too. What's her energy and play level like, Kodiak? Is she does she love toys? Does she want to engage all the time, or does she have an off switch? Huge. Yeah, it's awesome when you have the cute photos from early days. just going to get that light in there. There we go. And now, only after I've kind of blocked things in will I worry about strands, individual strands of hair. I am going to glaze a little bit up here. We got a little bit, these are really dark. Because the hair here is just like real big chunks, it's not my favorite type of hair sculpting. I'm going to glaze it. So I'm going to grab a little bit of water and just kind of mix a small puddle of glaze right up here on the upper surface. She likes hide and seek. Oh no. Well, that's that's one of the funniest parts of owning a Shiloh, is all the places that she can fit under right now. There will be a time when she will attempt to fit under them and she will be too big, and you can laugh at her expression of confusion. So put the glaze on, quickly rinse out the brush, pull off the liquid. Just want to leave a light layer to kind of lighten that whole area there. Now I can take my highlight color and see what I can do. And now I'll try to pay more attention to strands. And if I go a little far and I need to cut that off, I can go back to a previous color and just paint over it. Just get that kind of halo of bright shininess here. This one is pretty broad. I think I'm going to bring in a little bit, take it down just a little. Hello, dog father. And then I've got that shadow underneath there, but I need some mid-tone in there. I don't want to lose that. So I need to grab some of that, maybe mix it with a little bit of my highlight. Make sure they have a little bit of transition here between the light and the shadow. And then I'm going to bring in my shadow, which is that yellow oxide with the purple in it. I'm just going to make sure that I've got kind of a bit of shadow in here. I can still have some strands go through here to pick out details, but I like to have the shadow, and then we'll come back up to a highlight down here as the hair comes out. But you can pick out, if there's a strand that kind of sticks out, you can pick out a strand to carry all the way down. Just going to grab the undersides of the hair here to kind of bring it up a little bit. need to make sure I've got my shading in these deeper areas between the locks of hair. I'll have to pick out another, you guys are so OSL crazy, I'll have to pick out another good OSL piece at some point. Actually, we have one. We have the torch guy that I put up for vote last time, but nobody wanted him. You all wanted Sophie. Sophie the dragon. So a little bit more light down there. And more highlight down there at the bottom. Just bring out that hair. There we go. And we'll get the tops of her ears too. And bring up the light up there too. And then a little bit on her face. There we go. It's hard to put strands on the hair because it's sculpted in like very triangular locks, but maybe a little bit down there. I don't know if he's put them on the main Reaper Discord or just on mine. He puts them on my Discord, Pendrake, but maybe he'll put some on the Reaper Discord. Or maybe he already has. Have you, Kodiak? Okay, there is, yes, on the Reaper Discord. Is it relaxing? It's kind of relaxing for me. I just kind of chill. Grindy. And this is kind of annoying here because of these big dips, and I don't want to have those big gaps of shadow in there. So I do want to, even though they're recessed, I do want to bring up the light a little bit in there so that it's not quite so gappy. Cool. Yay, pup dates. Pup dates are the best. There we go. So that's looking nice up there. I like that. Yes, SSC in his Santa garb is great. I'm glad that it's like Zen for you, Wendy. Zen for me too. Yes, Kodiak just got a new baby, dog father. New baby papa. The same kind as Kiki. So I'm going to put a little bit more highlighting in here. Yeah, some of this just got a bit dark, and I want to be able to bring it up more. So I'm going to work on that a little bit more. I saw dogs in coats, a lot of dogs in jackets here in the neighborhood when I took my walk with Kiki yesterday. Dogs in coats. We used to do, one year for our dogs, I did, for birthdays, I did diced up chicken and cheese and an egg mixed together and baked in a muffin cup. And did one for each of them. They loved it. I probably should have topped it with cottage cheese. That would be Kiki's favorite. If Kiki gets that, I'll have to top it with cottage cheese. I'll put the highest highlight toward the middle of the highlighted section. Yeah, that underside part, I just don't like it. Don't like it, Sam I Am. There, it's a little better. Liver muffin cakes. Oh, that's cool that you have a local dog bakery. There we go. That's a little better. I like that a little better. I am going to take that strand and bring it up with a little bit lighter paint, not super highlight. A little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Feel like this is kind of bland here. Hey, Shadow Raven, thanks for the resub. 37 months. Nice, Nara. Bet they appreciated that. Yeah, that's better. Shiny. All right. Yeah, that's good. Still feel like I need a little bit more on top of the head. I am just missing Hawaii this year. Like, Had such a wonderful time there in October, and all I'm like feeling right now is wishing that I was in Hawaii. It's worse because David's parents are about to go. So I have huge Hawaii envy there. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of light here on top of her ears. Just a little bit there. We have, I think we're in the 50s today. Boop. 51. That's what we have here. With the rain that busted through, it made everything colder afterwards. So we do have better weather than other states. So I should not be sad. Though I bet my mom's temperatures in Arizona are actually better. 57 there. Arizona will get to 65 today. But I wouldn't give her 65. Oh, they've got a little bit of rain forecast, though. It's winter there, so it's rain season. Ugh. -12, ugh. No, I do not regret moving out here from... I mean, Texas is 50, so about the same. There's a lot of similarities between the weather here and the weather I left, except that Texas is actually, I think, lower humidity a lot of the time. Certainly in summer. A little bit like, yeah, I've gone overboard on that ear. Let's mix in some of our next highest highlight. Need to pick up the fur down here a little bit. Yeah, and the sun is shining where you are, yep. Yeah, ours is very watery sunlight. It's not very convinced. But yeah, I think part of me, honestly, as I get older, part of me would love to live in a tropical setting year-round. Part of me is like, yeah, I could live in Hawaii. I could have it be like 70s or 80s all the time. I would go for that. At first I thought I would miss the seasons, but I'm so prone to seasonal depressive sometimes, and this year I'm feeling it. I don't know why, but... maybe I need to double my vitamin D dosage. Oh, that's ugly butts. That's hard. Not having the sun out. Yeah, going to get some snow from us. Yeah. Yeah, we had a big storm come through. A lot of rain yesterday. David was trying to cook dinner on the grill because I didn't realize that the weather had changed on us. And it just started pouring, and the grill is steaming, and it doesn't want to come up to temp because the water's cooling it down. So the chicken took twice as long as it should have, and I was almost late to CrossFit. Plus, poor David's out there with an umbrella. Oops. Oopsie. There we go. There we are. There. Maybe some more light over there. I want a little bit more on the top of her fur here, inside the ears. But yeah, what do you guys think? Could you live in a place like Hawaii that never got winter? Or would you miss it? Would you miss seasons? Yeah, I remember thunderstorms that shook the windows in North Texas. We don't get that here. We never get thunder. I think I've heard thunder in this since I've moved here. I think I heard thunder exactly once, and it was very soft, and then it was gone. Just a little bit of extra highlight here with an umbrella, Korniko. That's funny. Are they, Kodiak? Gosh, you can have it. You can have it. More for you. Yeah, yeah. Since you don't have to drive in it, that makes sense. I don't know. If we could get snow, maybe I would be happy about that, but I don't know. The drear just hits me. A little bit of highlight here. Not too high, but just to bring out details. You would miss fall a little, but the snow can stuff it. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. When I was in Wisconsin, I always would get seasonal depressive in the winter. I didn't even know. We didn't really have a name for it back then. And I didn't take extra vitamin D. I probably do need to double up my vitamin D. Usually I do in the winter, and I haven't been. Yeah, well, even though I mean, our seasons are much muted out here, but we still get wildlife migration. In fact, a lot of if you live in a warmer state, you often get migration from the cold areas to your area, right? That's what happens with us. Some of the birds that I have outside right now, the little sparrows with the stripy heads, I forget what their actual name is. I call them the stripy head sparrows because I'm so creative. But those little buggers are migratory. Although I'm kind of happy. I wish they would stay year round. I'm hoping they stay. Sometimes they do, apparently, in this area. But yeah, they eat they're ground feeders, so they eat the extra seeds that the finches toss out of the feeder so that the rats that aren't here. The rats haven't been coming, which is awesome. The mice and rats have not showed up like nearly as much, which is fantastic. Because the birds have been eating all the seed. So the rats and mice must have found a place with more, there we go, now we're getting some mileage. I don't remember. Let me look them up. Maybe it is white-crowned. 1 second. Yeah, white-crowned. That's what we've got. They're cute. I like them. You like the winter, huh? Yeah. Yeah, Texas tends to go from summer to winter in a blink of an eye, and then you don't get much fall. Certainly not compared to other parts of the area of the world, like East Coast. And out here, actually, we get a decent amount of fall. All right, that's looking pretty good. I need to pay more attention to that, and then we need to paint the little fur, the little paw, because I forgot to do it before. I don't know. Glad there are a bunch of you that like winter. Having grown up in Wisconsin, I had ample opportunity to like the winter and decided to say nope. I noped out of that. to get the bottom edge of the ear here. Nice. Yeah, like going to visit places with seasons. See, that's what I could see doing too. I mean, if we really want to see snow, we can drive a couple hours into the mountains and we'll get our snow. There we are. Now let's get this little paw back here. Trying to see. Yeah, it seems like that's just a weird, it's a weird hand because it definitely has armor if I look at the ends. But then I'm not getting a sense of that later, like, or back further. Maybe it's a chainmail glove. But I think I'm gonna go fur here. You can see this is still a pretty bright yellow as I put it down. It's only adding all the shadows and highlights that helps you to blend the yellows down so that they look more natural. And I'm going to say that's like fur cuff. She's got fur on her coat too, so I'm going to say that's a fur cuff there above the hand. Alrighty. Her little paw doesn't wrap all the way around it. There. Alright. And I think I need to get out a little bit of liner. I need to highlight under the eye over there too. Thanks, Kodiak. Just hitting a little bit of light. Little bits of light around the eyes. And I guess at the top of the muzzle I'll need to. I tried making her muzzle lighter and I didn't like the look, so I'm keeping it this color. $77, wow. Nice. It's rare when we get that kind of weather here in the winter. The 65 is something we hit every once in a while. I just keep reminding myself that every day means that the sun sets a little bit later. So it's a win. It's a win, guys. We're waxing toward longer days. Today's sunset is 5:02. Pretty soon it should go a little bit more. I'm going to thin the brown liner a little because we did not want it too dark around the face, but I'm going to go 4:1 because I do want it darker around her hand, around that sword, to make it stand out. So I'm going to go 4:1. Alright, so I'm going to line around this to give me a better sense of light and dark. And then I'm going to shade and highlight it. Oh, Zachariah, I ordered that color book, that Pantone color schemes book, and it should come late today. I'm interested to see what they've got going on. You're foiled. Foiled. The sunset foils you. Is that why you take sunset pictures in the Zelda game, because you are being starved of sunsets where you are? There. So this is hard because her fingers barely come around the tip there. This is a short week because we have Monday off. That's nice. Trying to line between the little fingers, and it's a very hard angle to hit. Just do your best. Alright, got that little paw. You do it in Monster Hunter too, yeah. I used to do it in Final Fantasy XI because it was beautiful sky. There were beautiful skies sometimes. I'm going to put that glaze over the paw. I just want to soften down the liner a little bit. And then I'm going to take and pull the rest of it off. Now we can shade and highlight. We had to do running jump rope in CrossFit, which is, I used to do it as a kid all the time. Like, I actually preferred that to actual jumping. And I totally have forgotten how to do it. Like, it's been, 30 plus years. No, more. More, 40 plus years. Apparently you do forget how to running jump rope if it's been that long. But Happily, other people in the class were having just as much trouble, so, or almost as much trouble. Hey, Roger. So I think my first video of the month for the Patreon and YouTube is going to be a concepts video, and I'm going to talk about different paint lines. Because like there are different things that different paint lines aim for, right? Like when you buy Army Painter, you're looking for something different than you are if you buy Chimera Color. So I thought I would tackle some of the differences and similarities there. It might be useful for people who are coming into the hobby and are only really aware of like 1 or 2 paint lines. They may not realize when you come in, you don't know everything that's out there, right? Or why you should even care. So I figured that would be a useful topic. There we go, and I'm just going to touch up the knuckles a little bit with a little bit of highlight. There. There we go. One little paw. One little paw. And then that little paw is armored. I think we've got pretty much what we need. I want to pick up her lower lip a little bit and this side of her muzzle. Good. Army Painter and GWI class together as a type of paint line. They want to sell you the fish instead of teaching you to fish. They want to teach you how to use their product, but they want to sell you pretty much a paint for everything. Which is, you know, if you have the cash to invest and that's what you want, you can get some good mileage that way. But it is expensive. That's the downside. And the other downside is that you don't learn to like just build stuff yourself. You might not learn as much about paint consistency and stuff. So yeah, I'll talk about all that stuff on the video. That's why I don't want to shoot it yet, because it's mostly going to be a talking video, and I want to have my new face cam. So I've been outlining it and working on my to-do list for the month and my writing. There we go. Yeah, okay, let's give her some eyes. Let's give her some eyes. Going to, because she has very large eyes, don't use pure white. Use something like a bone color. I like to use weathered stone or polished bone. Splintered bone is probably a little light. Yeah, I don't have another. That's probably the best. So even this, even though it is grayish brown, which is really what you want, it's going to be fine. it's going to look white when I put it on. Indeed. I'm only going to thin this a little, just make sure it's smooth when I put it on. But any of the stone or bone colors, I wouldn't use a really yellow one, especially not with her fur, but I would use, usually we use a gray-brown for the whites of eyes if they're bigger eyes. Yeah, but a lot of people do start with Army Painter or Games Workshop, so I want to talk about it. And I'll talk about the more, you know, artsy paint lines, like Chimera and the tubes. Tube painters. I'll touch briefly on oils, probably. And then Reaper, then there's the kind of the, Reaper's its own beast, so Reaper gets its own slot on this video. We'll talk about things like Vallejo and Proacryl in one slot. The paint lines that mostly are going for coverage. They want to prioritize coverage. Scale color, like the regular scale color, fits in that too. Generally. So you can see, even though that's a gray, it looks like a white, but it's not too punchy. So yeah, that's why I figured that this would be a good one. And it fits in the concepts video series that I'm starting, because it's really, you know, it's not about a given technique. It's more about the way we think about paint lines. And yeah, when you're a newbie, you have no clue about all the paint lines. Like, why would I want X or Y or Z? Or even that you might not even know that half of these things exist. So I'm not going to cover every line, but I'm going to talk in general about types of lines and what to look for when you're looking at a line. I'm going to do one more coat here. Every coat gets a little brighter. Going over that. There we've got our eyeballs coming in. Hey there, Luca, how's it going? Yeah, a lot of the washes out there nowadays are too glossy for my taste as well, if I'm going to use. I so seldom use them, but when I do, we'll be talking about that. Painted 9 hours today. I'm ready for 2 more. Crazy. Man, it's been so long since I've had the stamina for that. There's served that one up to you. We'll just wait for the Luca response on that. But I just need a chocolate chip cookie. That's where I'm at right today. I really want a chocolate chip cookie. Oh, Kiki wants one too. She just was like, huh? Chocolate chip cookie? Well, I used to. Like, when I was commission painting, God, that was a terrible time in my life, thank you. But yeah, then I had the, like, you have to work up to it, though. It isn't something you start with. Like, people try to do that, and after 2 hours, they're just, like, exhausted, and it's like, you have to, it's just like anything else. All right, so we've got those. Oh, Keekers, why are you woofing? Uh-oh, it may be barky time, guys. Yeah, I think David's in-laws are here, or David's parents, my in-laws are here. You lost one. Oh, 18 hours. I couldn't do 18. Hey, Kiki. I know. It's okay, though. No. All right. Sorry, guys. It's time to deal with the boars. We have people outside the house. Kiki. Come here. I know they're there. I know. Come here. No, you're fine. I know. Yeah, you're okay. Kiki, no. Come on. I know. And especially Fred. Fred is scary, right? Yeah, good girl. Yeah, you're good. Silly dog. 18 hours a day, though. Woof. Woof. Yeah, it's been a long time since I could play that. I think the most I ever did was like, well, no, actually, one golden demon. Before one golden demon, Papa, I pulled a full day and then I painted till like 4 a.m. So that was probably the longest I ever did. That was probably a 15-hour day. But that was like insane. Crazy talk. All right. We do have eyes that are big enough to do colored irises on, guys. Yes, yeah. Kiki is like, yeah, it's only the in-laws, Kiki. It's not axe murderers. It's only the in-laws. You had to play with the puppy? Oh no, it's Kodiak. Oh no. Oh no, you had to play with your adorable cute puppy. Uh-huh. I don't have envy though, because like, I remember the work. It's recent enough that I remember the work. All right, so if we're going to do a colored iris, we'll do blue eyes on her, I think. We'll start with a darker blue because we want something to be kind of that outer rim of the iris tends to be darker, right? So we'll actually do void blue because I want something a little bit more translucent. You don't know if you're actually conscious 18 hours a day. Yeah, good point. I need a lot of sleep these days. All right. So I won't go late today, but we'll at least block in our blue irises. So I don't use void blue a lot. It is a very translucent blue. Just because it's the nature of the beast. It's got blue, almost all blue. It is a high density blue, but when you've only got that, there's still a limit to what you can do with just blue without adding white to it. There's a little tiny bit of black in there as well. So I'm going to get a drop of water in there. Have you, you going to do puppy classes with her, Kodiak? Do you have a place near you? In the winter, it's hard to socialize with dogs. Kiki was a little easier because we got her in the end of summer. Oh, the in-laws have departed. Kiki's lying down again. Good. They weren't going to stop in and say hi. They were just going to... They stole David's bike while they went on a vacation down southern California. Honestly, any deep dark blue is going to be pain to blend. Kernigo. Any of them. I did a video on this, why blues are terrible. Why blue is my least favorite color to blend with. The way to start them is that you must add a little white. Add a little white, start with that, then just use the transparent blues to blend down from that. Because even when you're dealing with like Ritterlich, which has better coverage, like you're still dealing with that translucency if there's no white in it. Yeah. And so if you want a good, vibrant, dark blue, the best thing to do is to add a little white, use that as your base color, and then go down over that and go up from that. Because then you're working with a color from your base that already has that white in it. And so when you try to layer up from that, it's going to be blending a lot better. And it's much easier to thin the translucent dark blues so that they will blend from that. Yeah. Like I said, I did a video on this. A video or a PDF on this. About painting the blues. But we're going to use these today. Try to get a little bit. That's a pretty intense blue. Might be able to just use that, but we'll see. I want to get a big enough iris on there. We want it to go and impact the top. She looks fierce. Now, here's the thing about doing irises and the size of the eye. If you have a model that you want to look very alert, aim for smaller irises. And when the eyes are this wide, aim for that look of the smaller, because when the eyes widen, then the iris looks smaller. And that's what the very alert look, the very intense look. If you make your irises really large, you're going to get a lazier look in the eye. Just it's the way the human will interpret it, just because we're looking at our eyes, right? If you're painting Mousling eyes to look more like mouse eyes, then yeah, then you can go bigger. So I could go a little bit more, but I want to kind of there we go. That's as big as I would go. And we only will be able to do partial here because it's under the hair. Oh, got a little bit of blue on the hair. Blorf, blorf. Blorf. And I want to get my liner and see if I can pop a bit of a pupil in there. We have room, although our eyes are very blue right now. Yeah, hopefully, we'll see. This weekend I hope to have time to finally get the Blorf mugs up in my Silly Zazzle store. It just takes time, and I've been trying to concentrate on... had the holidays attack, and then the January this month is definitely my writing month. I need to get this book done, folks. Or this novella, or this whatever this thing is going to be. I need to get it done. Yeah, I don't... the problem with that is, like, if I leave the other eye white, then I've got nothing to really show that. Like, I would... If I was going to do that, Jack, because it's totally doable, but I would want to actually put a scar, a visible scar that I could paint over her eye to tell the story of why that is. But yeah, as you said, but I would need to do more than that. Like, drawing a scar over the fur, because... if there's a scar, there's no fur there. So I would probably do a notch with a knife. Like a notch here and here. To take that fur, like, down a little bit. Since that's the way it would happen, right? I think drawing it over the fur would be very difficult to make look right. But yeah, it would be taking a knife, probably from the top, and divoting out. I'd have to divot it this way. Maybe even use a little tiny bit of a really slow speed Dremel fine tip, maybe, but it's hard. It's hard with the hand here because you can't get at it from below. Sometimes it'd be like that, Richard. Like with writers, sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes they're like, I thought this was the book I was writing, but it wasn't. If you read, oh gosh, why can't I remember Travis's last name? But author of Legends and Lattes. He just put out his sequel, and he's got a author's note in it that essentially tells you that he tried to write 3 books before he wrote that one. 3 different books. He was like, this is the book I'm writing. No, this is the book I'm writing. No, this is a book. Oh, crap. And and at that point he had been actually assigned by a traditional publisher and was on deadline. But he ended up writing the 4th book that he thought he was going to write. It was good to read that recently because I was like, I am in that situation, only at least I'm just on the second book and not the fourth book. All right. So you can't really, the eyes are dark enough that we can't really see like where I put the pupil in with the brown liner, but let me see what I've got for lighter colors. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to add some white to this blue. Okay, bye, Crowley. Yeah, I need to, I've been plugging along at the series, or at the book. Need to do some character introspection today. Alright, so when I add white to that blue, it goes from that dark, that dark color where you have it, and now it comes up to this. That should be light enough for me to suggest a bit of a lighter iris. We'll see if we can do it. That's interesting, and he's unusual like that, Kroniko. Thank you, Slayer. I desperately need more reviews on West of the Moon. Desperately. Like, it's been sitting at 6 for a while now, and we desperately need to get to 10. I'd really love to get to 10 before we release the third book. Might need to go here and do the... Might not have enough room, we'll see. That brought our blue back, though. David actually asked to read my book over the weekend. Now I need to I got my blue blocked back in. I feel like I need even more. Hold on. I'm going to grab just a little bit of white. I'm going to try to do. Yeah, well, every writer's different, right? It's just, and part of it also, probably, at this point, Kroniko, is that King has written so many books that he knows when an idea is good, right? He's not, at this point, he knows the formula for a good idea, and probably that's all he gets. Because once you understand, like, the structure of a sound story for you, it becomes a lot easier. Alright, so we added a lighter blue down there. So now what I'm going to do is try to go back in and re-add my, my pupil. But yeah, he's always had an interesting process, because he also just, he writes into the dark, right? He just writes the story. We call that writing into the dark, when you just start writing and you just go till you finish. Where you don't have an outline. There we go. Awesome, Richard Bennett. Yes, good. Yeah, because I need you. I need you and Zachariah and Turgeon to be my eyes for those typos. We're also going to do a catch light. Oh, I'm already late. Crap, I've made Luca late. I got too carried away, everybody. I got too carried away. And I also just painted myself. Because like you do. When there's paint that you get your hand in. Alright, so we'll continue with eyeballs. They're almost set. I just need to do a catch light. I'll do that when we come back. Good, Angel Marvel, yeah. Yeah, it's no hurry. It's no hurry. I'm just gratified that you guys are actually reading the books and that you actually like them. It makes me happy. Big finger hearts. Big finger hearts. Okay, so we have eyeballs. We need a reflective light because we can absolutely do that in eyes this big. So we will be doing that when we get back. But she definitely has gotten a bunch of personality to her today. She and her mousy friend are gonna go play some Settlers of Catan in honor of Quindy. Alrighty. She's like, I am going to take all your wood. Let's line Luca up. Boom. Yes, take care. Take care. Have a good one, everybody. And I will see you again tomorrow. Oh, and tomorrow is Mermaid Day. We were doing the Rust. We will continue with the Rust tomorrow on Mermaid. All right. See you later. Have a good stream, Luca. Bye-bye.